So everybody, here we go. Basically going to try and get a couple of species of fish today. Got some great lures which I'm going to be trying out today. Most certainly got my competition rods out, something a little bit stronger, a little bit less finessey, something that can hold bigger fish. It is a big fish competition and the biggest fish wins. There's various categories. It is a national tournament around Australia and all the funds go to cancer research. So I have some close people in my family who are dealing with cancer, and I'm a cancer patient myself, so I really am quite into the fact that they have this tournament and I want to support it, and most certainly they give you good incentives to come out and fish as well. So it is very family orientated as well. The pressure's not on today because we're not on the clock. It's 2 days of fishing. The first day I'm going to do here on the Sydney Harbour, and tomorrow I'm thinking of going on the Hawkesbury River, maybe in Pittwater where the water's a little bit cleaner. So very cool, excited to be out here, excited to fish today. So what is this channel all about? Well, it's about tactical fishing. It's about utilizing lures, tactics, and how to actually put lures together and catch fish with them. It's about fly fishing. It's about being versatile on the water. There's some baits as well which we use. And basically it's about finding ways to catch more fish when you're out in the water. I most certainly have interest in manufacturing some baits, some of my own and also some that are out there, and really testing baits and finding the stuff that works. And not just baits, but also stuff that we can use in the outdoors, stuff around the boat, stuff at the campsite. Test the products out, get them in. I've got an online store coming up and it's all going to be there. So that's where we're going with this whole thing, and I want you to join me and come along and share your stuff with me as well, so we can all put it together and have some fun with the wonderful world of fishing here down under. Alright, so I've just been working this bank and I've got a couple of really cool places that have some rocky outlets and things like that. So I'm going to back it up with a little bit of a crank, just a nice little bream crankbait. They're very basic, and we're going to see if we can get a couple of bites, just cranking slowly. And the retrieve needs to be really consistent. You know, when you're using a crankbait with bream, especially here in Sydney Harbour, they like the more consistent retrievals, and when you go up north, obviously a little bit more jerking. But what I like to do is I like to roll it and then just little bits just to give it that little bit of a, you know, a variation in its movement, and with that you know, I tend to get a lot of my bites. So that's what we're going to give it a try right now. So let's see how it goes. Alright, well that's a good sign. Not a very big one, but yeah, taking to the crankbait, so that's good. It means that the water I've got is looking better than I thought it was, and we just got to keep on plodding along until we get those bigger ones, you know. Once this one calms down, I'll get it off. But there you go, crankbait's starting to work, and that's cool. So we'll keep on plodding on. Getting bigger. So that's cast the cast so far, and yeah, crankbait definitely working right up on the banks where the rocks sort of have been flooded over with the tide. The tide's coming in at the minute. It's about an hour to full tide, and you know, it's still early in the morning. Sun's just come up. Bite window's definitely open. That's the third bite I've had. Nothing big yet, but you know, getting there. So that's a good thing. And yeah, loving that little crankbait today. It's quite a successful one, this one that I've been using, and yeah, we'll keep on plodding on. This is great. So I managed to do some pre-rigging yesterday, and just as we go up, a couple of things. So there's a little jerkbait I'm going to use in a pumpkin black color just to start us off today. I've got it on a 1/8 ounce lead head, jig head, and I'm just going to be working that through the rocks and so on, nice and slowly. Fluorocarbon, on this one I've got 6-pound fluorocarbon, making sure your knots are always very, 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 very good. Okay, I've made sure I did some pre-rigging at home, and those are really good. So we're going to start off with that. And then as an alternative to that, just for this area, I've got myself a little paddle tail. So there it is over there. Okay, and we're going to be working that in the water, and you can see if that'll get us some bites as well. So that's just on a that'll be a 1/10 ounce, I believe. So it's a little lighter, and we're going to give that a try now. So that's going. And then on the other side, a couple of crankers, something cheeky, of course. I like these little baits like this, especially with the sun coming up as it is now. You know, you get these nice little baits that wobble around. I've modified this one a little bit, and it gives a nice little action in the water. And let's get going, man. Let's see how it turns out today. Sun's shining, so it's time to fish. Let's go. So we got our first bites there, which is good. And we'll keep working that, see if we can get them to commit properly, you know. Good sign, though. Well, there you go. So I don't think that's bream. That got taken out by a little pufferfish by the looks of it. Absolutely devoured it. So it just shows you at least the fish are around though. So we are ready on the re-rig path. First casts, and I'm getting taken out, I think, by pufferfish. Just looking at the bait, it got absolutely devoured. And I felt one or two of the bites, but yeah, they're on it. So straight into the re-rigging. Yeah, I'm just sort of working it out at the minute. So I like to always keep some old baits, especially when I'm starting out, and utilize those first up in order to get some bites. Right, into the re-rig, and yeah, that's a good sign that they went for that bait. I will try and match that color just now. I've got a bait that I'm going to be using here, which is a little modification, and I'll take you through that sometime and how I do that, because it's quite interesting. Sometimes the bait is a little bit long and you want to try and shorten it up for the fish, because what happens is they grab the tail, and you know, they miss the bait, they miss the hook, and you want them to be on the hook. So, but always one thing, make sure your baits are really straight and they swim nicely in the water, because otherwise you're not going to get those bites. I do like to use a little bit of spray, which you'll see me using quite often. You get regular stuff around. Yeah, you get regular stuff around, and it just masks the sense of whatever you're doing. You know, sunscreens and human smells and whatever else, and the boat smells and whatever else. Just you just take the scent off. So you know, they've got them. Get garlic ones, they've got aniseed ones, they've got you know, ones that smell like prawn. Apparently it smells more like popcorn to me, but anyways, and yeah, it just masks the scent so that the fish don't get suspicious of the bait when they're going. Or at least that's the theory. So right, let's get back into it. Re-rig done, back in, let's go. got some bites. Tide is low, things are slow, but really trying to just find some bites at the minute, so when that tide turns around, you know, hopefully some bigger fish will move up. Just fishing some rocky surfaces here, sort of rocky edges, and yeah, it's not going to do it, but it's a fish. Trying to actually mimic the bait fish that are in the water, so I've got a sort of a pumpkin red and black flake, maybe a bit of silver in there as well, and I'm just sort of trying to keep it as close, getting some fish, but not the size we need. Better one now, finally getting onto them. Much better take, that one. Came onto the shadier side and seemed to be obviously collecting better fish. There we go. How about that? Subtle changes in colour, just subtle changes. Right, sun's come out, so anyways, I'm going to try to go and get some flathead now. There's a nice little bank up here ahead. Get my bait caster out and let's work the banks a little bit faster, cover some water, see if anyone's home. I'm sort of trying to keep the retrieve in between, because if it's too jerky, a bream won't take it. A big bream will hit this bait. But you know, I also want to try and get a flathead interested. So a few little jerks here, very easy jerks though. You know, flathead do like it when it's very erratic and so on. But I tell you what, if a big bream is around and you get it just right and it's consistent enough, big bream will hit it, and that's what we want. I know on the Hawkesbury tomorrow we've got a few spots where they'll hit bigger crankbaits, and hopefully the water is clean enough, although it doesn't need to be 100% clean, that we can get some crankbaits out there on the bait casters. What's nice about bait casting is you can cover a lot of water, so I can really move. This will also get a tailer involved as well, so we're not just fishing there as well, you may get a tailer. Usually the tailer are schooling up and you see them busting the surfaces, so we'll be looking for that to see if we can get a big tailer, of course. And of course your George Whiting will take this as well if they're around the side. So it's not just like for one species here, we're pretty much working for a couple of species on this particular lure now. So time to make some subtle change-ups. This is a great little jerk shad, which really works well for flathead, and you know, while the tide is low as it is, I'm going to give it a go. You know, the fish are not sitting up shallow, so I'm assuming they back away from the bank a little bit. So I'm going to try to cast further towards the bank and then work the water coming backwards. So there's the little shad I'm going to use. It's a motor oil colour, and just on a blackened jigget. I've just sharpened that hook as well. Make sure your hooks are sharp. But this area is a really good area for you know, for some flathead. So I need a big one, so I'm going to work it, and that's a good size. It's a very good bait for them. Let's hope we get some action. So I just fished this whole bay over here, and took a good hour of my time. No bites on flathead. Now Hawkesbury tomorrow, hopefully we'll have some, but that's quite something, not to get a bite from here, not even from something small. So let's ride, man. I'm going to go to some open main water and see if the fish are out on that main water on the sand flats. Let's see. So just taking what Sydney Harbour has to throw at me. It is definitely a little bit turbulent out here, lots of ferries going past, current going through quite quickly. Just retying my knots, making sure that everything is solid and that the bait is sitting right, that there's no nicks on the line or anything, in order to ensure that if I do get a bite that I've got the best chance of getting that fish in. So just repositioning my bait as well. Making sure that it's just sitting right, so it looks really good in the water, and flawless. It's got to be flawless. That's pretty good. And then of course a bit of spray just to get all the scent off the lure. Make sure that's all done. Good. Alright, we're going to get into it. So we're going to do this whole bank right now. We're going to really work hard and try to get you know, something. We've got to work hard though. It's not easy today at all. Right, so you can see there's backwater over there, and in front of us we have a few little docks. So I'm just going to work the backwater first, get it into the backwater, just see if there's anyone home feeding under the docks. There we go, got a bite there. That's good, bite is good. Okay, the one we want is where it takes the whole bait. That's the bite we're looking for. But yeah, I'll undercast or flip cast. So take the bait in your hand like that and just flip it into your area and slowly retrieve it out. This is a paddle tail, so it needs to be quite steady. And then there's some fish behind it. I can see them, they're not massive, but I can definitely see fish behind it. And generally what the fish will do is they'll hide directly underneath these, and so that's why you want to target them. And also sometimes under boats. So if you see boats like that, you just flip underneath. Make sure you don't hit the boat, because that's obviously someone else's property. So you've got to be pretty accurate with your casts. And there was a couple of cables and that around there, so I didn't pursue another cast towards that dock from that side. I might try it from the other side. So let's go around. Batteries are crucial. I run a 36 volt 101 pound Minn Kota on this boat, which is very strong. It needs to be, because you need to be able to beat all the currents and obviously keep yourself in position. But I've got 3 Deltec deep cycle batteries, which I've connected in series, which are 36 volts, and they work very well. They go all day. So very important to keep them charged. And you know, last night, even though I charged them on last use, I charged them again to make sure, you know, to make sure I had enough power for today, because this is when you need it. You know, when you're in a situation where you want to get those fish and you want to, you know, make sure that you have maximum time fishing, that's when you need the power. So you want to make sure that you've got plenty. So coming up to these docks now, so I'm just again picking them apart. I've got this one behind me here. I'm using some undercasts, also flipping a little bit just to get underneath the docks, and I just work it past those points nicely. And you can see there's a lot of stuff in the water here, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, because bream are opportunist feeders. They will feed on anything they can find, and if you can punch through the stuff and get it underneath and just bring it through slowly and consistently, you can induce a bite. Lots of turbulence in the water, lots of current. This is exactly what make the conditions good for a bite. So we'll keep on at it, and hopefully we'll be rewarded. Right, so ladies and gentlemen, you know, the fisherman in me, you know, I've got to chase these schools of fish that are coming in. We've had kingfish come in, we've had tailor come in, and we've also had some mackerel come in. tailor are the ones we're after. If a big tailor came in, that would be really good because we need one of those for the tournament. You know, I'm going to go for whatever I need to go for, as I just joined my fluorocarbon onto the rod. I'm trying to keep all my rods as versatile as possible for many species, so we can have the chance of catching, you know, whatever we need during the day as well. Use the rods, but the one thing I do know is match the hatch, man. And there is a very small shrimp-like creature that they're chasing, and that's the size of it. And I'm going to put that on, and I'm going to try to get some bites because they won't touch anything else. They just want that size. And so I'm going to have a go at trying to match it. And I've got some fly rods here as well. I may have a go at that as well. Put some flies at them if this continues like this, because, you know, it's sport. You know, you got to go for it. If it's there, you got to go for it. So anyways, we're just going to rig this up quick, and then we're going to get right at them. They're right behind me over there. Seagulls are going crazy on them, so we're going to see if we can find a fish or two. Alright, we've got that happening again. Fish coming in, boiling up the bank again. Right, oh, they're nice big kingfish too. They're big kingfish, and they're around. And I just want to try to see if I can get one. Yes, please. In come our kingfish again. And this time I was ready. Oh boy, this is a strong fish, boy. I gotta turn it. Oh, too much. That was the kingfish right there. I had to turn it and stop it from going over there, and it just couldn't hold. Let's see though. It broke at the lure. Look at them attacking. See, look at them up ahead there. They're attacking Taylor and everything. Oh boy, I gotta get in there. I got another rod right here. Let's get him. Get him. Easy. It's too easy. There we go. Oh. There they go. Oh. Right by the boat. Oh, they came up for it and they missed it right by the boat. Let's try again. Oh. They like that little thing. I just couldn't turn that other one. Here I am brim fishing, and we've got kingfish just coming up and down this bank. Boy. They come in and they swarm in, and oh, it's a pity. So we had that kingfish on there, and they had a bit of action. There's a couple of teeth marks up there, just to let you know that my knot for the fluorocarbon held very, very well, so that's a good thing. And it managed to slip it, managed to pull through on the actual bait itself. Heavy fish, a couple of kilos, but yeah, I mean, it's the second time they visited right near the boat, so I'm going to rig this up again and get it ready for the possibility of that happening all over again. And it was just a nice little, you see, they're sort of coming in by the looks of it, and they're just taking whatever's there, and then they're coming out again. So they've been active all day, because I was here this morning they were doing it. So I'm going to see if I can get one, and it's just fishing, right? Here I am fishing for brim, and I can get kingies. Well, it's time to get some kingies, so let's see if I can do that. Alright, I got a fish on. Decided to fish a little deeper in between, and oh yeah, it's what I'm looking for. Not very good hook though, not very well hooked badly. I don't know if I'm going to land her. Let's keep it light though. Get that net. I do need this fish. Oh goodness me. Get this all set up. Right, very carefully. It's a nice one. There she is. Get it in the net. Oh boy. This is risky. I'm not very good until I'm good. Yes, please. We finally got a decent brim. I mean, we've worked so hard. And that little change up that we had once those bigger kingfish came through just made the difference right there. Good change up, different color, and managed to get ourselves a fish that counts. I caught that right after we changed up, and we made the two rods happen. One with fluorocarbon, and changed up to a slightly darker color, and we got some success at last. So that's fantastic. So we've got the bream right now. I just want to help it out a little bit. So it's got a little bit of That's a good bream too. Well, you've got to be very careful with these because they'll want to get your fingers as they do. But ladies and gentlemen, that's what we came for, that's what we're fishing for. And there's a good bream that really wants to get into my fingers. As you can see, they really are beautiful fish though, nice and strong. So just came off the bank a little bit for that one. And yeah, she's a beauty, beautiful front. I'm going to put her on the live well and we'll measure her up and see, maybe tomorrow we get some better ones in the Hawkesbury. But finally we got something, right? Very happy about that. So we've worked very hard right the way up that bank for this fish, and just a beautiful bream. So very happy about that. So just keep on going. You know, it's just starting to become afternoon now. Afternoon bite may be starting, but it's a lot of work, a whole morning, and a lot of distractions with kingfish and that to finally get a counting fish. So we'll put her on the mat later and see how she weighs. Very cool. Well, we've got some tailor going here in front, so I just thought I'd throw a couple of lures at them, and it's one of the species. That's not going to be the biggest one, so we'll just let it go. But yeah, we've got the tailor going. So a little school of them in front of me, and I'm just chasing them at the minute. Some bigger ones in there, so we'll see how that goes. There we go again. Oh, bites all the time. There we go. Oh, bites again. So school of tailor running through here. They're biting like crazy. They've bit this thing to pieces. They've bitten the tail off and everything. Let's see if they'll go for it. There you go. Look at that, straight away. Look at that, straight away. And that's just a piece of bait that's left over. Alright, getting a little bit bigger. So definitely one of the species. See if there's any big ones around. They're just eating anything I put in front of them. So I have seen some bigger ones cruising around. Not this school, there was another school of them that were much bigger than this, but anyways, we'll try this. There we go, they're biting it. Look at that, just biting. Okay. And that's just a piece that's left. Look at them, they're bitten it to pieces. So we need a big tailer to put on the mat if we could find a bigger one. There we go, on again. Another tailor, slightly bigger one. Yeah, still small. There we go. Getting those tailor running. We need one about 10 times the size of that in order to score. But just so you know, we're getting some tailor, which is good. We'll keep our eyes open and see if we can continue, and they're just biting anything really. That's what tailor do. So we'd need a bigger one than that. Anyways, we'll keep working at it. There we go. Oh yeah, that's a nice one. Oh yeah, another good one. Netting fish important. There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so here's another good one, and got to be really careful because she'll want to get me in the hands. Oh, there it is, beautiful. All right, there we go. So another good fish, and as you can see, right in the mouth, took it in really nicely. And yeah, we'll have to put them on the scale just now, see how we go, and let's get on to the Hawkesbury River now and try and find some flathead as well. We got a couple of tailor today and one kingfish, which we didn't land. But hey, you know, it's been a good day out. We got 2 good fish and we really worked hard to get those. So all right, let me get this fish back in the water. Great day out, man. Great day out. See you on the Hawkesbury tomorrow. Cheers.